Design, production, and materials dance intertwined.
It's a new approach for marketeers. It's a new approach for us to understand.
Why is this little astronaut so happy?
We are the storytellers.
That's where we come in.
You're getting the hang of this. Okay, good evening, everybody. You having a fun time? Good, because this is almost an interactive session. But this is in my head, this is me. I studied boat building a long time ago at the same college as one of my personal heroes, Nigel Irons. I'm very pleased to be sharing the stage with him. But in my head, this is who I am. But actually, I've been working with materials suppliers and companies that make paint and composites and stuff like that. But today's subject is this. Pipe joints. See, it wasn't what he thought you were going to think about. It's pipe joints. And they're not really that color at all because that's not reality. That's just a drawing that I found somewhere on the internet in order to make you understand that the subject was pipe joints. So we got that. So here's the problem. These things leak. And as you can see, it's a little bit messy. You know, that's going to get on the carpet. That's not going to be good. It's going to soak into the wood. That's going to go the wrong color. And it's messy and it's irritating. And we don't want that to happen, do we? Okay. And, because there's another side, is this steam? Is this hazardous? Is this going to shut down your operation? Is it costly? Is it going to kill people? It's a problem. And we don't really know what's going on in there because it's just coming out. So that's not good either, is it? You're getting the hang of this. Great. Okay, so on the next slide, the problem is it's not actually the pipe that leaks. It's the joint. See, joints are a problem after all. It's the joint that leaks. Okay, so we know that joints leak, but these look lovely. They're all shiny. They've got nuts and bolts. We can tighten them up. It's going to be groovy. Everything's going to be fine, except this is a promotional picture because this is the reality that we live with. You know, people are not using the right tools. There's too much of this, whatever this is. I don't know, this PTFE tape, let's imagine, and it's just not working out very well. And how tight are they going to make this joint? Is it going to be right? You know, because if the joint's too tight, it's not good. And if it's too loose, it's not good. So this is your solution. Let's weld the metal together. That's great, isn't it? It's going to be permanent, it's going to be long-lasting, it's going to be fabulous, except that if you're in a flammable environment, that's going to kill everybody. And you need a certificate to do this, and nobody else can be working on the boat at the same time. So whilst this looks really nice, there are a few problems with it. And it takes a really long time. So this is much quicker. This has been around for a few years. It's really cool. Anybody used this stuff before? There's a bit of rubber there. There's a machine that goes crunch, so it's organized by a machine, so we're not reliant on the operator. That's really cool. So this is going to be fabulous, isn't it? Otherwise, I'm halfway through the presentation and we're done. So obviously, I've got some more slides. This is the solution. The yellow thing provides hydraulic power. The press tool makes stuff happen. These are the joints. And then there's some pipes. And there's a magic measurement tool and a marker. And then we'll find out that the marker is useful later. So this is going to save 80% of your installation time. There's a video, but Ninky wouldn't allow me to have the video. So there was a pipe that came in, so you got a fitting, and then there's a pipe that comes in, and there's another pipe that comes in, and this bit here moves that way, and these bitey things grab the pipe, and it all looks fabulous when you see it animated, which if you come to our stand at Metz, you'll be able to see. So the red bit is the bit that actually holds the pipe. So you've got these two bitey things here, which look like this when it's squeezed. So you've got an axial press that creates a concentric constriction, which gives you the bite, which is an all-metal joint, and it never comes undone. People say, how do you get it undone? With a hacksaw or a grinder? Because it's a permanent joint. Now remember the white pen that we were talking about? You mark the thing, you press the joint, and you can see that there's a gap. It's got a visual QC. You don't need x-rays, so that's cool. No ultrasound. That's groovy, isn't it? Yeah. Very good. Okay, so we like that as well, because you can see that gap there is small. So here's this one, and with that visual QC, once you see the joint is made, you've got a 100% reliable joint. It's a permanent joint. It looks a lot prettier than that. Again, no x-rays. It's cool. It's groovy. I apologize for this picture because it's not as sharp as the other ones. So this is one picture. They said you can't have lots of pictures. So this is one picture because it's a JPEG grab off the website. lots and lots of different fittings because this works for hydraulics, this works for fire suppression, this works for things like fuel lines and hydraulic, not fuel, but other flammable fluids. So you need lots and lots of different fittings. Yeah, health and safety issue there. But here's the real point, because remember that thing with the rubber seals in? That's the Chihuahua. Why? Because it's only good for about 15 atmospheres of pressure. This big dog is Lloyd's certified for 440 atmospheres of pressure and tested at 1,700 atmospheres of pressure. That's 30 times stronger. And when you have a fire, there's no rubber seal to melt out or get burnt away to let the fuel that's in the pipe feed the fire. So that's pretty cool too, isn't it? Yes. So we like that as well. So it's safer and it's quicker and it's a big dog and that's all cool. So this, anybody know what this is? This is steel. Ooh. So we make these out of steel. We also make these out of stainless steel. This is 300 series stainless steel. Of course, you all knew that. This is not 300 stainless steel because this is the future. What's the problem with 300 stainless steel? Well, this is the problem with 300 stainless steel. Chlorine corrosion. Has anybody been in the sea? There's a bit of chlorine there. And it causes corrosion. So 2205, which was the other stainless steel, 2205. By the way, this weld, look at that, it's not as good as you think it is. So 2205 stainless steel is the future, and we can now do this in 2205, which is known as duplex stainless steel. Okay, you memorize that? It'll be a test later. Also, we're going with this 9% nickel stuff, not Ty's nickels, but nickel the metal, which you use for cryogenic stuff. Why do you need it for cryogenic stuff? Because if you weld with it, there is a heat-affected zone where the heat messes up the metal. This is the last slide. They go from very small to very big, and they're jolly good. So, you've got to love this stuff, haven't you? Thank you very much.